All right, we're back. And I think it's my turn to be the bad time.
Yeah, so we now pass into the heart of autumn, the third month, called Respite, or Rest. Though, whether we're going to see any of that is a little up in the air.
Friend. All right.
I hand things over to Ash.
Where is the rolling table?
It is... I think it was in the download, maybe? The
it's
easy way
called
is
Encounter
probably...
Prompts.
Yeah,
is the PDF or whatever that I have.
Okay, let me find it.
Or if you just roll a d8, I can send it to you in Zoom chat privately.
I wanna do the thing.
All right.
Encounter prompts. I see it. Found it.
Yeah, really, I just need to learn how to make decks in Roll20, but that seems difficult. So.
It's really not. It's really simple. It's really cool.
Oh, good.
I can show you how.
Yes, score.
Weird Roll20 is my jam right now. I'm trying to make the Republic character sheets, and I'm like, I wonder if I could make the character sheets spin, and that's a bad idea.
That sounds very vertiginous, yeah.
Yeah. All right. Here, chat. You can see. Oh dear.
Oh boy.
Everything's crazy. Okay. Cool. And now I've got to ask myself some questions.
Yeah, and you don't have to answer them all at once. It is totally valid to pick a few you like at first, and then as you're answering the lead aspects questions, to pick a few more if they make sense. That is totally kosher. You will not get in trouble.
I'm gonna pick one from each, and then we can add more later.
Sounds good.
So where was our other PDF? Sorry. Just because chat gets to see my screen, so I wanted to show them what I'm doing. So facets.
I am taking this opportunity to review things that can be won and lost in the hearts of the people, and it's pretty grim. It's pretty damn grim.
I also like that in some weird indirect ways the hearts of the people are actually the most badass too. You would expect hearts of the people to have all the go and fight the thing options.
No, it's all about passion and
it's all about what's in your heart. And you get all the great betrayal options too, which
everyone loves a good betrayal.
Yeah, there's that primo shit.
That's what this people were built on.
Yeah. Also fun foreshadowing. Because of Ash's poor choices, we can't use the hands of the people to try and overcome whatever sea monster attacks us. We're not allowed to do that. We got to find another option.
That's a really good point.
Oh, right, because of the pairing that Ash chose.
Yeah, because she's done Hands of the People and Dwellers. So if she introduces a sea monster, we can't just outright fight it because we have no. That's so cool. I like how that will make each game so totally different.
Yeah.
We have to hug the sea monsters.
Look,
and hold their slimy bodies close to us.
Kill them with love.
Yeah,
and stories.
The most painful one I've ever seen was when the same player picked the weather and the hands, and it was a great tornado blows up, and we're well, great. Fuck.
I can't do anything to stop it.
About it.
Yeah, I mean,
we wish it away really hard.
I think it turned out okay because I think we picked the ritual that was make the wind stop, and so we just fixed it. But it could have been real messy, is what I'm saying about this.
Well, that's great though. Like if it's like, oh, the heart has to deal with it, then it's just like someone nobly sacrifices themselves into the tornado, and then it goes like, yeah, just lots of fun stuff.
You got to get creative.
So here's the thing. While we are rowing, Emily, do you want to like take a drink? I said the thing.
Yeah, I know. Yeah,
so here's the thing. While we're rowing and we're like moving along, at some point, the water grows dark and inky. And like the boat kind of slows a little, and then people like are like digging their oars into this water, and then like as they pull them out, the oars are like eroded or like consumed slightly at the ends, and they're like they're these big long oars, right? Like they're massive, like Venetian poles with like paddles on the end. And so like people are like looking down at their oars as they pull them up, and they're like, what's going on? And like we see these, and I think we see from like the people on the deck who aren't rowing, we just see a bunch of the oars people like look confused at their things, and like peer over the edge, and just throw themselves into the water. And then like we follow them down with the camera, and they fall into the thing, and there are all of these black ribbon like slimy eel things with many eyes and like round mouths with like needle-like teeth that are just like swarming underneath the boat.
Great.
Your turn, team.
So remember when I said we need to hug the sea monster?
I don't want to.
I'm gonna veto that. I think that is a bad suggestion.
I don't want to hug the lampreys.
Fuck.
No, they're not huggable.
I feel like one person goes over to inspect what's happened, and they look over and throw themselves as well. Like as soon as they look into the eyes of these things.
Okay, so it seems to be like they're being somehow compelled to
by the many
there's no like obvious practical reason why they would do that. Okay. Oh dear.
It's many black eyes that do this.
And we know that the water is like corroding the wood.
No. It's these things eating on it, right? It seems black because of the swarm.
Oh, it's a swarm. Gotcha.
Oh, so it wasn't an acidic thing. It was a. Oh, okay.
Gotcha.
It's like when you stick a wooden spoon into a blender to try to get that last little piece of ice to go, and then it just chews up your spoon. It's like that.
That's genuinely painful to me. As someone who likes to cook, that's genuinely painful. Don't fucking do that.
That's how bad it is. So what do we have available? I've got the heart of the people.
Yeah, we've got heart,
memory
and
voice, and lore. I mean, maybe I could do something.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I mean, they're all.
I think it's the heart.
All strange.
Honestly, I think it's the heart because
if they have some kind of like mind affecting thing, then I feel like the heart skill set is good here, right? It's like people.
That's true.
And even against like straightforwardly physical threats, you've got a bunch of like confront it, relying on like the strength of our courage, or like stab it in the back with betrayal, murder. Like I reckon you've got a versatile, well-rounded set of tools with which to deal with this problem.
Do we have consensus here? Everyone's good.
Sounds good.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah. Also,
right,
I just want to see you use your heart to defeat the lampreys.
It's you and me.
It's on.
So, I have to ask the most like horrible, awful questions that aren't helpful, and just like doom us all as hard as I can. So here I go. Does this thing conceal a secret heart, or is it cold and unfeeling?
I mean, yeah, it's obviously cold and unfeeling. It is. They are like small. They are small and swarming, right? Like they act almost mindlessly, just reacting to the stimuli around them.
Okay, but like, what virtues might this thing possess that the people could learn from? I hear what you're saying, but
all right.
but these are my questions.
Like the eel.
Yeah, suddenly we're playing Eden, the role-playing game. If the eel is my instructor animal, what can I learn from it?
What can the snake teach me? Yeah, I want to know.
I think that the eels can teach us focus. That's definitely they are with they know what they are doing. They are with purpose.
And they're like unified too, right?
And they're unified,
cohesive.
And it is almost as if our absence of that, our distraction, is what's.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So we have to be single-minded, unified fascist zealots to deal with this.
This is how we're going to overcome our differences and come together as a community.
Be like the deadly eels, everyone. Just.
I mean, that seems consistent with our culture.
Fair.
Tangled mess of writhing bodies and teeth with many eyes.
Be like the deadly eel. Feed the fork to your dead grandfather.
A writhing mass of tangled bodies does sound like the heart of the people.
That's what you want.
I like the idea that the eels have these eyes that entrance you, but they're mostly vestigial. They're not using them. They're just using them to distract you.
They're just these hypnotic appendages.
Yeah.
They're like butterflies.
Yeah, like the eyes on the wings of butterflies. I was thinking the same thing, Derek. Yeah. So now, I must lead us to defeat this thing, right?
Yep.
So what's up? Okay. So we can confront it head on, relying on courage and their wild and untamed hearts. We can confront it head on, relying on trust in each other and the world's goodness. We can rely on the fearlessness in their cold, cruel hearts. We can open our hearts and offer kindness and friendship.
Yeah.
We can open our hearts, offering compassion and assistance. We can harden our hearts, offering only bitter cruelty. And we can harden our hearts, offering false smiles and cold betrayal.
Wow, those are so great.
Yeah, like I said, well-rounded.
Let me ask a question that looks backwards into the fiction we've already created. Did we establish what became of the dead people? The dead people all went back into the ocean.
Yeah.
They're not hanging out with us still.
I think they went back in the ocean.
I mean, look,
someone jumped in after them, so presumably they're down.
Yeah.
I mean, look, I think that based on the fundamental principles by which fairy tales operate, I do think that allows us the wiggle room to have one dead person still on board.
Maybe.
Right?
Maybe.
Well,
if that would be helpful.
Time.
Yeah.
Okay. No, I think we're just going to harden our hearts. Okay, I gotta be a good Apocalypse World MC. You didn't hear me say what move I was doing. I'm gonna do it. So, here is what the people do. The people see those who are weak-willed and unfocused, who dive overboard, and they're like, great. 3 less mouths to feed, let's keep going, right? Like, everyone is just like, no, we can't look down. Like, down there is despair and badness. This is this alien environment that is hostile to us in every respect, where even the dead don't stay dead. What can we possibly hope to gain by looking into the water? And so they turn their noses up at their friends or family members who flinch and look and dive in, and they just press on, callously leaving behind any that slip.
Because that's not going to come back to haunt us.
Amazing.
Good, nice choice of words there, Derek. I approve.
We haven't seen literally exactly that happen.
No.
10 minutes
No, it's fine.
But yeah, there is no hope in this place. There is only survival. Yeah.
We must be like the eel.
Yeah. So, magic words?
Is this course of action successful?
I think I can see the ways in which it's successful and the ways in which it's not. There's definitely a cost to be paid for, staring dead ahead and not at the things that are like nipping at you or similar, right? Like you're not paying attention to a certain thing, right?
Yeah.
You're paying attention to your task and not to what's happening, which is going to include a cost. I'm going to say that it's one thing gained and one thing cost.
Yep. Works for me. And going with the like give an answer that makes sense, I would like to propose to the group that additional to those things, we also lose several people, because like that has been established in the fiction.
Yeah,
Yeah, clearly.
That's
Yeah.
there, yeah.
Both Ash and I were like, yeah, all those people are dead.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like we should write that down somewhere, because that did happen.
Some people looked into Eel's eyes and jumped into the sea.
And got eaten.
If they were that weak, were they really people?
Well,
Oh!
Capital
And
P,
so, in terms of, sorry, so like I'm so bad at remembering exactly what everyone's purview is. It's stories, which is like the occult shit, and that's you, Emily.
I'm memories.
Or sorry,
which is
memories.
Rituals and stuff.
And then it's voices is Derek, and that's
Which
stories.
is more stories, yeah.
That's
And
stories
then-
and songs and yeah, that kind of shit.
And then Luke, you have the lore,
The laws.
laws.
So like
Okay, sorry, I'm hitting an accent barrier here, and I just need to
Yeah,
confirm.
yeah.
So it's like
Laws and
LAWS.
laws.
Yeah,
laws.
LAWS. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So I've got like
Wonderful.
Our reputation and like our customs and like our ancestors.
Yeah,
and that
brilliant.
kind of
Because right, like your stuff is all taboos and whatnot,
Yeah,
right? Okay,
shit.
cool.
Exactly.
Yeah. So I feel like, so I get to assign
Yep.
losses and gains, right? So, I think our losses are in our lawfulness. I think that like
Yep.
we have given up on our principles here in choosing to solve this problem this way. This is like a betrayal of our own principles.
Oh, I think I already know what it is too.
And I think we have gained. This has added a new aspect to our voices. Probably a somber one, but yeah, this like continual horrifying alien seascape that we are trapped in, or that we must pass through, right? That this tragedy that we continue to carry out month on month
Yep.
gives us new stories to tell.
All right, so here's my question. How much should I make us lose? Because I have an answer that makes sense that is like a bad thing, but it's like it's a relatively small bad thing, and I've got a bad thing that's like holy shit.
no, I like the holy shit.
Yeah.
All right.
Do the real
So-
bad things.
Sewell's children are meant to be proud and kind. We have lost the favor of the sun that we got ritually when we set out.
Ooh.
We don't. Sun doesn't like us anymore.
Okay.
Sounds kind of a jerk, anyways, if you ask me.
But yeah, so I think we have lost the favor of that god for our betrayal of the values that they stood for in life.
All right. And me?
Yeah. What have we gained?
What have we gained? So we've resolved to be like the eels. We've resolved to be single-minded and bloody of purpose, and as a result, we have looked at the eels and how they move through the water and how efficient they are at killing and seducing us to kill ourselves. And we've refashioned our boats in their image. And our boats now travel faster. So there's a speed that we've gained, but at the cost of constantly reminding ourselves of our own failures to help our fellow man and woman.
It's like we've taken on this monstrous aspect, right? That we are.
It is. We've
Yeah.
gazed
We're like
into
more
the
predatory.
abyss, he's gazed into us, and we've found wanting and had to be like the monsters that seek us.
We're in Darkest Self now.
Yeah.
Yeah,
End
cool.
of my turn.
It's the best way to be.
Right, yeah, write that
Kind of
down.
get a bonus and a negative in the same one. That's a bit harsh, but
Yeah.
I mean-
no, I think that's fair.
This all win to me. That's all I'm hearing is like we're gonna do better because of this, right? Like ruthless and cruel though it is, right?
yeah.
I can only imagine YN with his like frozen dead arm stump and ice magic like at the prow of the first ship in the whole thing now
Yes.
too.
Yeah,
Yes.
totally.
Inky black, because like part of it I'm sure is from the things nibbling and like blackening the hulls of all the ships. They all have taken on
Oh
this
yeah.
Yeah,
that's cool. I
totally.
like
grim
that.
kind of appearance.
We've gone
All right.
north.
Yeah.
So now it is time, I believe, for our first special encounter.
Oh,
Oh, also, guys, that was the month of rest and respite. That's
Yes,
how
yes,
fun
it was. Yes,
very
it was.
relaxing.
So,
So-
very-
Sash.
Between the 3rd and 4th months, have the voice choose what has changed since the people's last journey. So, Derek, on your sheet, the second column asks you to choose what has changed since the people last went this way, or like, because I imagine that maybe like a couple of generations ago, like we tried the return to the homeland and it didn't exactly go very well. And up until now, like everything's kind of as it was described to us, but something's changed. And so Derek is going to tell us what that is, and we're going to figure out which aspect that corresponds to, which facet that corresponds to, and then they're going to run like a bonus encounter, and then we're going to move on to the 4th one.
Okay.
And so this is like a really big fundamental thing that has changed then.
I think that
It
depends
sounds
on
like-
Derek.
So it's variable. It doesn't have to be this.
There's
like,
a
massive
set of
sweeping
prompts.
thing.
There's a set of
Oh, I see.
prompts
I
on
see.
the sheet. So this is his equivalent of your like where are we going?
yeah, where we're
question
going.
and my
Totally.
ritual question. Yeah.
Sweet.
So everyone gets like a big fiction shaping question to influence the journey overall.
So, I want to read you my last one here because it's the one I want to go with, but I want people's take on what it actually means.
Yep.
So, rafts sail on pilgrimage filled with burnt-eyed exiles from the tall cliffs.
Yep.
So,
there are some rafts sailing on a pilgrimage, I guess.
is that us or are there other people? Is this?
I mean, it is intended to be another people. It is eerie how close to us that sounds.
Yeah, at this
know.
point,
Like-
that could
like-
be us, right?
Like, I mean, I'm gonna posit like maybe we were not the only survivors of the destruction of the Lost Land, and we're not the only ones who are trying to get back to our home.
Oh shit.
And this is like another people,
Right.
perhaps with different ancestors to ours.
Another branch of the people.
Another the people.
Yeah.
The people is only come on, this is like basic anthropology, right? We are the
Yeah.
people. They're all other people. Another the people.
So this other people has burnt-eyed exiles. So I'm going to say they don't have any eyes.
That sounds fair. So just to be clear, so you do not run this. We figure out which facet it would be,
Okay.
like normal, and that sounds like travelers to me
Yeah. Right.
Which
because
is my
they're
words, isn't it?
people,
I
right?
choose
Like they're people on
travelers.
rafts. It sounds like travelers. So I think
Yeah,
this
which-
is M's
Okay.
M's one.
Sure. So what do I need to look for here?
So you've been given the prompt. The prompt
Cool.
is
Okay.
exactly what we were just given.
Right. So, but I do
Rafts,
everything else as
Everything
normal.
else as normal.
Okay. Okay. So, rafts of burnt-eyed. Can you tell me it again?
Rafts sail on pilgrimage filled with burnt-eyed exiles from the tall cliffs.
I mean, yeah, that sounds absolutely like us.
Doesn't
Okay.
it?
I'm interested in the tall cliffs thing because we didn't really say anything about where we left from and what it looked like. So
Maybe their part of the Lost Land had tall cliffs. I don't know if
Okay.
ours did.
Okay. Okay, I'm going to write these down so I don't forget what I chose. And so oh, yep. Yeah, okay. Okay, cool. Yeah. So I think it's like the middle of the day, and the sun is directly overhead. You know, the sun that has to some degree like become ignorant of us. So I think there is sort of like a stillness over the group. Everyone is just kind of like paddling. We're moving, you know, at a good speed. But there is not the usual sort of like daytime joy and sort of customary celebration that goes with, you know, being in the light of the sun. There's a sort of a bitterness that everyone is kind of feeling. And I think as we're moving swiftly through the water, at some point we see up ahead of us, sort of in the path of where the people are moving, just this small kind of black collection of specks, and as we approach it, we see that it is this little gathering of rafts, not that dissimilar to the kinds of raft that we have, but much less. And as the people slow to approach, they can see upon these rafts sort of a handful of black robed figures, and I think one of them sort of like who is standing kind of on the prow of one of these rafts, raises like a curved stick in a kind of greeting. Yeah. So, yeah, I think that's like what we see of them initially.
Cool.
In terms of how we would address this.
Oh, but I think also, just to add, I think there is something, there is a familiar sense in the greeting. There is something about their customary greeting that is familiar to the people.
It implies like a shared tradition.
They do something that is in like strangely
recognize.
Yeah, that we recognize. Yeah.
All right, I feel like I'm pretty strong in this area,
right?
Because these people are like related to us.
That rings true to me as well. I was gonna bring forward the same. We go murder the blind man. Ha!
Yeah.
Take that, blind pilgrims. Get wrecked.
Yep.
Yeah, why don't you go for it, Luke?
All right. Yeah, so I think again, like the old crone who we saw earlier with her kind of like dreadlocks to signify the dead. I think she comes forward and she gazes on them and she like digs into her memory to her knowledge of the tales of our grandparents, and the other ancestors and the other clans that we knew of once. My first question: what taboos, strictures, or natural laws are they bound to obey? And if you need any ideas for taboos, you are very welcome to steal ones from my sheet that I did not pick.
Yeah, cool. I like that also because, of the idea of this kind of alternate people.
Yeah, they are the mirror to us, right? Like.
Yeah, exactly. One of them. Yeah, I absolutely know one of them. So. Just opening up here. Okay, so could you just tell me the wording of the question again? Just
what taboos, strictures, or natural laws are they bound to obey?
Okay. I think there are two things, and the first thing that is sort of immediately obvious to us, and if we, if the people choose to speak to them, becomes sort of clarified. Unlike us, the people, who are traveling swiftly by day, even though we're not sure how we feel about the sun, this group has anchored. They've put down anchor, and have done so throughout all the light of their stay. And I think if we speak to them, we learn that they must only travel at night.
Yeah.
They can only travel at night.
Nice.
Taboos and strictures. Yeah. No, I think that's it. I think they can only travel at night.
All right, cool.
Nice.
Just trying to like rein it in, like keep things, concise. It's hard to do.
Ooh, I think I like this one. What does the law record of their oaths or pacts of the people? Of their oaths or pacts to the people, and of ours to it. What did our clan owe theirs once, and vice versa? If anything, like.
Yeah, no, I think there's definitely. I think there's.
There might be some randoms.
No, I think like once the people speak to them, there is like an immediate sense of distant kinship. Despite their sort of like, they all appear to be dressed in kind of like mourning garb, and all of them are incredibly old. There are no young people among them. It's just this sort of like smattering of like wizened elders, and I think it becomes immediately apparent that they are distantly connected to us, and I think the crone is the one who is like old enough to remember a story of these people, and how they chose to martyr themselves a long time ago. They chose to forego the blessing of the sun and become those who would do the dark deeds of the night, and that is why they burnt out their eyes, so that they would no longer see any light, and that was the sacrifice they made for the people at large.
Right, so it implies that they did this even for us as well, right?
Yeah.
Like,
At least I think maybe their stories say that it was a noble act that they did for us. I don't know. Yeah.
Well, I think we should put them to work.
We shall
They're
see.
my crew, right? This is my solution to everything.
We shall see. Let me see.
That's like one of my options, Derek.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, if we could travel at night, we would get there twice as fast, right? Half the time is nighttime.
What I'm
It's
saying.
wasted.
Okay, so we may have lost the favor of the sun for in his eyes betraying Sewell's values, but we are still at heart kind, and I don't think the people can bring themselves to break the hearts of these old kin of ours. Right, like they made this terrible sacrifice. They like lived their lives in darkness away from the warmth of the sun. They put out their eyes so they wouldn't have to look on the deeds they do, and they did it to keep us and the rest of the people innocent. And yet, like, look what we have become. Like, we can't interact with them in a prolonged fashion because, like, that would be cruel to show them how meaningless their long lives of suffering have been.
They're
and
like,
it's all
we
been for
have
naught.
taken on the cloak of the edgelord so that none may ever need to do this, and we're like, we are so metal. And they just
Exactly, right? Like
Yeah.
we can't. Yeah, like we're too kind to do that to them. And so I think instead, and they're all blind. Just to check.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah, I think because of that they can't see whatever markings we use to tell our ancestry on our vessels. And so when we realize that, I think the crone starts to chant and list our heritage. And it's not Sewell's side of our heritage, it's Saga's. And I think the chant includes the tale of how we were visited by the dead. I think it is a telling of how we are cursed, and we are like the children of the cursed ancestor of the people. And it is like a warning. It is like we're saying, stay away. Like, you know, we are cursed. This is a cursed ship. We are a cursed people. We do not wish to bring this down on you. And I think we also take advantage of the fact that they're anchored and they can't chase us. And meanwhile, it's daytime and we are allowed to travel at speed. And so, yeah, I think we cry out this warning as we sail past them, and we discourage them from following secretly for their own good. Does it succeed?
Well, at risk of being a terrible GM, I can find no reason that doesn't succeed completely.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Because of the things that I chose, so...
You are playing the game properly, Em. I am proud of you.
Yeah. Okay, good. So what
Being an
what's my
edgelord is
specific-
optional.
Yeah. What's my specific wording? Where is it?
It means if we succeed completely, you choose how many things we win.
Okay. Sorry, I'm just trying to find the exact text where I.
Yeah.
Where do I look for that one?
It's on your
bottom of
facet
your-
playbook,
On the facet
down the
playbook,
bottom.
yeah.
I think it's step
Lovely.
6.
Ah, yes, got it. Yep. Yeah, it works completely. Tell them how many things are one. I think it's just one thing that is
Yep.
one. I think the way that it turns out, when the crone begins to sing this song that tells of the curse of Saga, the burnt-eyed people weep tearlessly and nod and clutch their hands together, and I think their leader calls out, yes, we know what it is to be cursed like this. We too will not bring our darkness upon you. It is better that we continue our lives apart. And they bid farewell to the people as they speed on their way.
Yeah. So I can't decide because we win only one thing. I can't decide if it should be the voice and like we learn a tale from them before they go, or if it's the heart and we learn some value or virtue from them that we had maybe forgotten. Does anyone have feelings about which of those is a cooler option?
We did do the voice.
We did do the voice last time. So Andrew, the heart of the people, tell us what is one.
Oh.
That's right. You have to do something good. No edgelord. Bad.
You'd be surprised.
Yeah, that's one of the secret design elements in this game, is the bit where you can, if one player is too much of an edgelord, or alternatively is too like happy and just constantly wants to make the game about sunshine and lollies, you can make them be the other thing.
Yeah.
Tonal control.
No, I'm happy to reward us as well. I think in this case, I think the recounting of our own story out loud is like this moment of realization for the people. And this retelling of it such that we are all of one like lineage, I think is really poignant, right? This like removing this idea of like a literal ancestry, which maybe it never was, but like we've been kind of framing that as like, oh yeah, you have like a bloodline or whatever, but this is like whether or not you are a, you know, of like the line of Sarga or the line of Soal is like about a theoretical like space that you occupy. And so now that we are all cursed, now that we all like travel through this alien place, we all have to we are all embodying this other ancestor, and so I assume that there are like different ways of like dressing or wearing the same clothes. You like wear your clothes differently if you're from one of these,
no, definitely,
like representing one of these ancestors. And so everyone like there's like a lot of like solemn nodding and like changing and adopting of this new kind of mode of being, and so whereas before we were kind of fractured along this line, the events that we've seen this whole way through have been kind of highlighting those differences, but ultimately bringing everyone together.
Yeah. It's like a new virtue of like unity or something.
Yeah. I don't know quite how to word it, but it's just like I'll write a thing.
Yep. Cool.
It'll be like I described, but different because it'll be written in words on the page here.
I think that makes it Dex 10.
And that ends the bonus encounter.
Yeah.
I feel like Ash, is this maybe a good place to go for a break?
Yeah, why not?
Because we then have.
We've got an hour.
We then have 2 months left, and then the final encounter where the hands will choose what our final obstacle is.
Yeah.
And then, in theory, we will reach our destination. Maybe.
Yeah. All right.
We'll really have to focus. All right.